beginning this coming Monday, I will demonstrate for 14 days.
Straight.
Are
you positioning yourself?
Sometimes I think about it, Jeff. You said, na huyu mama mboga, na huyu boda boda, ta serikali ikuwe ni yenu. So Bishop Wanjiru is the mama mboga. Kidero is the boda boda.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm cool, man.
Niko
salama, nashukuru sana.
Yeah?
I'm doing good.
You're doing a lot of stuff these days, man. I mean, I guess in a time where we're looking for heroes, someone to fight for Wanjiru.
Yes, Shiko.
And there are not many of those, Eric. There are not many of those.
Few.
Are you committed to doing that? Is that
To the end. I've done quite a lot, Jeff. I've been here for 16 years doing comedy, and Kenyans have given me a lot of support. But sometimes people ask me, what have you done? We've never seen you do any CSR. What have you ever given back to Kenyans? They've supported you all these years. And now I sort of have this big... I'm the most followed Kenyan, by the way.
On socials.
On socials, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's that lingering question. Wewe unasaidia wa Kenya aje? And I think I've used my voice to fight for artists. I've used my voice to fight for a few other people. But now, this time I felt we go national and fight for Wanjiru, as you put it. Because it's not easy. The messages I receive on my DMs, on my WhatsApp, people I meet on streets, and the things people tell you, they're getting crazier by the day. Yeah?
What's the craziest you've been told so far?
Watoto wajakula siku tatu. How is that even possible? I'm okay with someone telling me, Erick, sijalipa rent. That's normal. Ama sina food leo. But there's a woman who told me in Adams, alishika nini yangu, jinsi yangu wasema, tafadhali. It's now a shame, yeah, that I'm going back to the house without food. Not for my husband, but for my children.
Where's her husband?
Huh?
Where's her husband?
Unemployed. You didn't see now 67% of unemployed people have given up on looking for jobs. And we have 2.6 more new unemployment cases. So it's getting worse by the day. And the government can do something about it.
Is your voice being heard? Have you been called aside by someone in the government to say...
For someone from?
Like a leader to say, hey, what solutions do you have that we can implement?
We like what you're doing.
Because obviously, for us to call here, we can feel the impact. But now, the people can change, because you can't employ 2 million people yourself, can you?
No.
You have to fight for them, for someone to say, hey, let's see what we can do for the youth.
Yes.
Has anyone called you aside and said, hey, what ideas do you have so we can implement?
Yeah, a few people have not called me, but a few people have spoken out. And they think it's a joke. They think it's clout. They think it's attention seeking, yeah. But you see, this is very dangerous for them, because we're going to rally youths, we're going to awaken youths, and this is very dangerous. And I saw a tweet yesterday, someone saying Ruto should not underestimate the youth, more so underestimate Erick Omondi. And we are in a very good position where Raila and Ruto are talking or fighting, and it's very easy to neglect our message, yeah. But as you can see, it's gonna get crazier even for them, because the things they're doing every day is outrageous. On the same day the government told us that HELB is broke, 3 hours later they released 802 million for cars.
For the two.
Why does Mudavadi need a car? Mudavadi was born as a son to the Sabatia MP. I have a car. Nick, Erick Omondi has a car. Why Mudavadi doesn't have a car? So the urgent thing...
Or like the one for that office that was there, what's wrong with it? You know
yes,
what I mean?
That's my point. What is more urgent? Yeah? What is more urgent? So the government can do something about it today. You understand? But if it was one issue, I was okay with unga prices, but it can't be 8 issues at the same time. At least sort 4. You understand? We can't be having problem with electricity cost, unga prices, mafuta, HELB, and it's wrong. And in the same breath, you are appointing 50 CS, and everybody is against it, including the courts. You understand? And who are you employing? Kidero, a friend of mine. He's a billionaire, and you promised Mama Mboga and
the hustlers.
Yeah. You said, bro, several times. You said, na huyu Mama Mboga, na huyu boda boda, ta serikali ikuwe ni yenu. Less than 6 months ago. How fast?
People you related it properly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Na it's a Jaguar.
Yes. My friends.
Bishop Wanjiru.
So Bishop Wanjiru is the Mama Mboga. Kidero is the boda boda. Yeah? So these are things we have to shout, bro.
And of the things that have been listed, which one do you feel is easiest to implement? Because there's some that are beyond control, like the price of fuel.
I know these issues are not easy to handle. Kama unga prices, we cannot just go down tomorrow. But things like help, bro. And there's money for this, yeah. There's a lot of money for this, and those are things that are really annoying Kenyans and youths, to be precise, yeah. The things the government can handle today. They have the money to handle today, because we see things that are being allocated to other areas that are not urgent. You understand? Yes. So this student has no help. This student has no tokens. This student has no unga. Handle at least in Fiake. Get? Yeah, and there's a Luo saying that.
Whoever understands Luo, say that too.
A hungry man has no shame. A hungry man has no shame.
Erick, you keep getting arrested.
Yes.
You take unga to people in stadiums, you get arrested. You're here downtown Nairobi talking to people, you get arrested.
I don't come with a group of people. I demonstrate alone, Jeff.
Even here you came alone?
Yes. Even here I came alone.
Yeah. There's no entourage.
Yeah, no entourage. Even recently I was in Kenyatta Avenue, and I was to be there for 5 minutes, do my message and leave. Yeah. And the police made it take longer, because they came and surrounded people. They incited people. You're getting. And I was all alone. The day I was with my mkokoteni, I was all alone until the police arrived. Yeah. And I expect sometimes, and when they arrest me, it takes them 9 to 11 hours to decide what to charge me with. So all I have to spend a night in there. I keep asking what's happening. They're trying to find out what to charge me with. And sometimes the arrests are very unnecessary. Like when I was with them Mkokoteni, the OCS came to me and told me, Erick, you can't go to State House.
Well, how far had you gotten with them Mkokoteni?
I had passed Serena. Bro, if I did one more time, I swear ningefika.
Baba Shalom ule Omondi anakuja tu hapa bwana.
If I did one more time.
Ule kijana anakuja hapa na ile nywele yake. Mwambie tuko na wageni bwana.
I don't know, I was arrested. The guy told me you can't go to State House. You should have just told me, Tan, there were like 11 policemen. I was going nowhere anyway. They were
realistic. You can't. There's no parking from Kokoteni.
There's no parking from
And you come with a pickup or a canter, you can get to the service entry.
So what's the end game, Erick? What's the end game? Are you positioning yourself for something?
No. I'm not positioning myself for anything, but I know we'll achieve what we are going for.
What, as an activist, as an MP, what do you want?
No, I'm a comedian. I don't want to be a politician. Yeah, I'm a comedian who's fighting.
There are other comedians who become politicians.
I know.
It's bad. It's late.
How is it going?
How's it going, guys?
guys.
So
you don't want that?
No.
You're not interested in politics?
No. Because politicians have put us here. They have put us here. And I don't know, like sometimes I think about it, Jeff. With good reasons. Sometimes I think about it. Like recently when I've been to Parliament 3 times. And when I'm there, sometimes I think about it. Like when I was fighting for the 75%.
75% local.
I've thought about it once in a while because I was so annoyed. I've gone there, I've taken the motion. It's been tabled. But every time I leave, even my friends who are artists, they never push it. So in that case, because most of the things I push are things that need to be passed into law, yeah, to be signed into law. Then I think about that.
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe I might think about that in the future for that reason, because I feel like whoever is in there is not doing justice to the young people.
But now that you've interacted with them, do you feel like maybe, because I see a lot of people, they say all these amazing things they'll do when they get in, and when they get in, it disappears. Yeah. There's a system that's been created to...
I don't know what's in that house, man. You enter
and you forget all the things you had promised. Sure.
Yes. So maybe not. But if I do think about it, then I have to go there with a lot of intention, consciously. Yeah. And I have to promise myself and promise people so that there's focus. You don't just go. I have to say that we are going to do 1, 2, 3, and then I hold myself accountable within this time. But it still just sounds political. like politics.
Yeah.
So if I ever find myself down that road, I have to really try and be. I don't know, Jeff. We have to. I don't know whether I'll sign a document with whoever.
Yeah. And
and give dates.
Right. Timelines.
Yes. A document that and shout it to the public that this is why we're going in here to do this and this, and if I don't do it, please call me out, and it has to be done as soon as possible.
Yeah. Or kick me out.
Yeah. Like sign and say if I go in there and I stop championing for this, and I forget talking about this, and I don't push this by this time, I'm signing. I don't know whether that's legal. Kick me out within a year.
Although once you're going in there, you already have, because of the votes, it's a binding agreement. You said you're going to do this, so all you have to do is implement. You can't again now tell me if I don't do it. But the reason you went in there is because you said you'll do it. You know what I mean?
Right. You promise the people. Yeah. Let me ask you this, Erick. This bipartisan thing. Before we used to hear handshake.
Yes.
Before that there was nusumkate.
Yes.
Before that there was something else.
Yes.
Sasa ni bipartisan. I mean, what does that do for Wanjiko, the people you're fighting for?
And that's why we are keeping our message clear. It's a high cost of living, because the message disappears in the politics. Yeah. And I personally respect Baba. He's the father of democracy, and whatever he's fighting for will really benefit us in the future and future generations. Election reforms are as important as what we're fighting for. But recently I said we will not allow the conversation to change from high cost of living to bipartisan, to handshake, to nusumkate. We have to be constant, and we'll shout, and they will arrest me as many times as they possibly can, just so that we don't lose that. Because it's very easy, Jeff. If I keep quiet today, and I can bet you there's nobody else, unless someone comes up. If I keep quiet today, the so-called Wanjiko is done. Because now the conversation will change into parliamentary committees. Odiama amekutana sijui Machakos na madama nini, sijui your friend Chungwa is saying no handshake, sijui. So that's gonna cloud us. That's gonna cloud us. Na Wanjiko ataumia tu. Na unga ataendelea kwenda juu. So we have to keep shouting unga, so that the president is aware that the masses are suffering, yeah, because it's happened before. So the bipartisan issue, we will not allow it to drown the high cost of living. I will personally not allow it, and I'm a very creative person, Jeff. I'm going to be in the streets every day for 14 days, beginning Monday.
To do what?
But space it out by like 12 to 14 hours. Follow the court process, then you leave, go home, shower, get rid of the rice.
That's why they beat me. I don't have as much muscle as Raila or Azimio, because they can never arrest Raila.
Yeah.
I think in a meeting somewhere they say this guy is easy to deal with.
Right.
By the time we arrest him, alale ndani, and then they take me to court very late. Then I'm fatigued, psychologically tired.
That's usually how they make people give up, by the way.
But I'm a very creative person, and I will not tell you how, but beginning this coming Monday, I will demonstrate for 14 days.
Straight.
In
Nairobi or different parts?
I can't tell you that.
Eh?
I can't tell you that. Si watanishika tu.
Anticipate. So how was it like getting into the cell? And when you in a van, do you have this convo with them like, boss, you can test the price of food has gone up. Why are you arresting?
Yeah, I saw some clips. People are saying this is scripted because I keep smiling every time I'm arrested now, because it's the same cops. Because I'm always around the town, yeah?
Right.
Even the CS was telling me, bro, you can demonstrate somewhere else. We are tired of you. Go to Wasaran. So the reason, it's the same cops, the same cells. Tushazoeana.
How's it like in the cell?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But Central Police Station, I don't know whether because I've become a client, but they're very
accommodating.
Let me say
frequent flyer miles.
See, I don't know if they're like that usually, but wako sawa.
They treat you with dignity.
With a lot of dignity.
Kuna watu wengi
huko ndani na Jeff saizi natoa watu jela because of what I see in there. There are so many people with niaje Rico maze niko hapa siku 3 juu ya sotano, nilikuwa na directive napelekwa jela 3 months. So I had stories the first time I went in there. The first time I went in there, I just locked myself in, slept.
What do you mean you locked yourself
in? As in, they gave me a cell.
Oh, yours was
Niko solo.
Hey,
superstar.
VIP.
VIP na hakuna mattress.
Suko na nywele kubwa, you just use it as a pillow.
So that's like Erick, I felt very guilty when I was leaving because the whole night they kept calling. No, the second time I started asking them, and then I discovered that people in Langata prison, the people in Da with 500 bob, 3 months, 500 bob, and they asked them why they were directing.
It's like touting or something.
Touting, dumping.
But all those things are illegal. Why are you touting or dumping if you know it's illegal?
No, but don't take them to jail. That's someone's mother. That's someone who's trying to fend for his or her kids. Community, Sakaja, I was talking to Sakaja, he needs to do something about the bylaws. You can't arrest a father who is trying to fend for his kids and take him to jail for 3 months. Tumetoa watu hata kesho tunaenda kutoa watu industrial 105 people. And people think that I have money. I don't have money. It's that watu wa Sotano. How much is that?
It's even 10 G's you've tomorrow, what? It's 20 people.
It's 48K. We're checking 105 people. I can't wait for you guys to see that video. It looks like a crowd because of 1K. And they're crowded. We need to decongest them. They're crowded, bro.
So 14 days?
14 days.
What are you going to be doing? Talking to the people?
I'm going to be creative. I'm going to be extremely creative. It's going to be very loud. It's going to be extremely loud.
Give us a hint.
Just look at what I've done recently.
Yes.
And then
Sasa times 10.
Times 10.
Unga distribution?
Unga distribution we are doing. I will continue the unga distribution and kutoa watu kwa jela. That one continues. But again, everything we do now seems to be illegal for some reason. So we don't inform. We just go and give unga. We've been giving unga, but without advertising like we did previously.
How many people have you reached with the unga?
We've reached a number of people. Like last time they arrested the 2 cantors. We got 1 back.
What happened to the other one?
I don't know.
Full of unga? Okay.
Which police station? We just find out who of those cops has a wholesale for a particular brand of maize flour.
There are 2 cantors. We got 1 back.
What?
We don't know where the other one is.
I will now talk to the youth, because we still get into the same cycle. Like last week, but one, the politicians were saying, we want the servers open, we want this done, we want unga. Then now they're talking about we want IBC and bipartisan. Yeah. So I don't know, is there a message you have for the youth? Because it's very clear that some people are being, you give the message.
My message to the youth is to start preparing for a takeover, because it's time for our generation, I may say. We had the independence generation, Akina Jomo Kenyatta, Ginga Odinga.
You see, he's pointing at me when he says Jomo Kenyatta.
That's his cousin. Uncle
Chief. Akina Chief.
Yes.
Akina Chief Koinange. That was the independence generation, and then from 1978 when Moi took over until today, that was this generation of Akina Ruto, Raila, Kalonzo, Martha Karua, and they're doing the last lap, and nothing is going to change with them. It will never. Since 1978, it's only gotten worse. We're just in an economic slavery. So my message to the youth is start preparing as early as now. Think of yourself as a leader, because we are taking over in the next one. Let Ruto do 5 or even 10 years. Atuna haraka, Jeff. But it is their last lap, and they're going to change a lot. So if you're listening to me and you're a youth, think of yourself as a leader. You can only save yourself. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Yes.
You do have political ambitions, Erick, don't you? Tell us. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious.
Why would you say it's obvious?
Because your passion and you want to help people, and there's no other way to do it other than being in the inside of the tent still, rather than being outside.
Yes,
the
if
tent.
you put it that way, I've had conversations with people, and people have talked to me about what I'm doing. Like especially when I was doing the 75%, I've done so much, and I've achieved so little. Yeah, because I keep calling. KJ has really tried. Babu Win has really tried, but there are MPs that have constituents. So people have told me, iki tunafanya utazeeka. Sometimes you need to be in there, and change it from there. So from that angle, I might think about it from that angle. Yeah, but that's a long way coming. But today we need unga. It's an urgent thing. The other day the CS manzi took a microphone akasema mbele ya watu, mbele ya cameras, akasema simkule mchele. Can you imagine?
I heard that. Even you was trying to advocate that we diversify our diet.
No, that is our staple. It's
Yeah,
like
but-
asking the Chinese to eat ugali.
No, but you know, Chinese eat everything. Papa roaches. You should go to China. Snails.
Nothing is remade.
Nothing. Even hooves. They
It's
pick
like
out.
asking who? Okay, the Chinese is a bad example.
It's like asking lawyers not to drink tea there.
Yes, exactly.
Or not to eat chicken feet.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but you know, like, I get where it's coming from. If there's a lot of produce in terms of rice, we can take it easy on. But I think how they express it is what's wrong. Because back in the day, there's someone also says, "Simukule hata panya, umbwa," and all those things. I guess it's how they.
That's how they say it.
Yes.
You know, it reminds me of Marie Antoinette back in the French Revolution. You know, the big thing was, you know, French loved bread.
Yes.
Bread was their staple. It was their ugali.
Yes.
So bread became very expensive. And this queen of France, Marie Antoinette, turned around and said, "Let them eat cake."
Hey, Marie Antoinette needs to be.
Unaona? Unaona? So ukiwaambia Muluya ati kuleni wali, mchele.
Kwani mimi mtoto mdogo nikule? Kwani ni vitabi?
How do you tell the Luya nation?
In fact, a guy who's been doing mjengo to not
All
eat
day.
to eat rice.
Wow.
But with minced meat or what? You know, because that's not something a mjengo guy would eat. But yeah.
So I think the government needs to. That was not right. I think maybe it was the tone. It was lakini simkule mchele. You're getting. Yeah. So I think there are better solutions than asking wale wasikunywe chai. Msikunywe chai.
Erick Omondi.
Yes.
All the very best, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Good luck.
Asante.
And be safe.
I will be.
And
If you need us to visit you in the joint, we are normally free from 10 a.m. before you go to court.
By the way, which is your favorite remand? Is it in Da or?
Have you been ever? No, he hasn't been remanded.
Huh?
Do you ever get remanded?
No.
No, you just go to the
overnight?
cell.
Overnight, yes.
Central Ama?
Central, I've been to Makadara, I've been to ile akina Jeff inaitwaje? Gary.
You don't even look forward to going to court. That's gonna be sad.
Buda. Duve now.
Gary.